Hey, hon, how are you? You could hear me, right? Just making sure. Oh, that's good. Doing pretty good. Pretty relaxed. Even before I put this music on, now I'm more relaxed. Hoping there's some good messages today in this pick a card, because we got a lot of stuff happening next week. Might be a little crazy. Yeah, I know, this is like really calming. But it's supposed to be like, abundance and prosperity and luck and type meditation. I'm like, hey, that's good for everyone this week. Why don't we do that? We can all use a little luck and abundance this week. It's really true. You don't take time to rest, you burn out so easy. Hopefully you're not working on the full moon. That's gonna be something. Oh, that's good. It's so important. Hello, how are you? I don't think I've seen you before. Is it Shiva? Well, in a way, it's good that you're not working on this Aries full moon because people are probably gonna be a little easily heated. Especially people that don't realize what's going on. Oh, oh okay. I don't know why. I think you've probably either you changed your name or it was that before, and you always said it's Anne, and I just kept saying Anne. A little pumpkin. Yeah, that Halloween one is gonna be. It might be a little easier because that one's a Taurus full moon, and Taurus is actually the moon's actually exalted in Taurus, so that's actually a very good placement for the moon. So there might actually be a lot of blessings that come with that one. This Aries one can really heighten some emotions if you're not aware of it. It looks really interesting, Anne. Did you do the numerology on it to see what the number was when you came up with the day, like the actual day you made the name? Yeah, that this Aries full moon with everything else happening this week because we got Saturn and Pluto going direct this week. So there's like a lot of energies that are just shifting forwards, plus the Mars retrograde and the Mercury retrograde shadow period, and yeah, that an ER would be a hot mess on a Aries full moon right now. So be glad you're skipping that. I'm trying to get my boyfriend to take it off. Like, use your PTO now, man. Like, start Wednesday, go to Wednesday next week, and you'll be good. Just, you have a lot of time saved up, and he's not going to be able to use it in November and December, so it'd be better for him to use it now and skip all this craziness. Otherwise, he's going to be ticked off coming home. But the Taurus one should be a lot better. That's the one on Halloween. Should hopefully bring a lot of grounding. Yeah, 11-2 is really good. That's what my Facebook, the Starlit I can't talk. Starlit Guidance with Cosmic Mermaid, like that one's an 11 too. Like my actual like work page. Everywhere else, it's an 8 because it doesn't have the Starlit thing on there. It has Cosmic Mermaid, except for this one. This has the Cosmic Mermaid 44 is, well, the ending has a 44-8 on it, but so 8, 8, 16. It has, oh, interesting, it's a 7, so it's like an inner spiritual journey, which is pretty good for being live. Dude, I work with 8 energy. Like, my chart's 8 energy, my numerology is 8 energy. It's like everything accentuates it. Yeah, that psychiatric stuff is gonna like jolt with this moon because it's gonna be going along with the Mars retrograde and with Chiron, and it's gonna be causing a whole lot of havoc. Just all this stuff in Aries is gonna have this huge pull right then, and it's gonna be squaring the planet Saturn Capricorn, so a lot of stability is going to be getting ripped apart at the same time for some people, and it's really going to be like driving them off the deep end, especially with the moon being our emotions and everything. So if you're not in tune with it and you're not grounded, it's going to be a really harsh moon to go through, especially since it's kind of opening the start into like the rest of the month. That's going to basically turn into a big purge for everybody if they're willing to do it. If not, things are just going to get ripped away like a tower card moment. Yeah, my numerology chart, I'm life path 8, and I'm also soul urge 8, even though my destiny number is a 6, which is 6 is more with like the Venus, but also with helping humanity and healing and things like that. So my destiny wants that, but life path and soul urge, which is like my complete drive and what I'm supposed to do in my karma and everything's an 8. Then in my astrology chart, I have Saturn aspected a lot, and then I also have Capricorn dominant with how many aspects I have to my Capricorn planets. And Saturn is linked to the number 8 as well, so I just have a lot of 8 energy. Yeah, energies are very crazy right now. Like, if you aren't doing it and you're not grounding yourself or trying to like protect like your own energy right now, it's so easy for other people's like really strong like emotions to kind of filter in and start affecting you. Even if you're not like very highly empathic, it's gonna be that strong where it's like you need to know how to keep your stuff separate from other people right now. And also my house number is an 8. My phone number is an 8 somehow. Like, there's so many 8s around me, it's ridiculous. And I didn't realize it till I started doing a lot of numerology stuff. I'm just surrounded by 8 energy. And I was working against it for a while, and I got very sick. And now that I'm starting to work with it, I'm slowly getting healthier. But it really is that energy that if you don't work with it, it will knock you on your ass and you're going to stay there. So you have to find out what's going on with you and really work with it. It's like it pushes you into doing what you're supposed to do, and if you fight it, then yeah. Which I did for quite a few years, and I kept going downhill. But it definitely turns you into a workhorse. You gotta learn balance. Yeah, we're gonna feel because the full moon, which I'm going to be live on the full moon at the time of the full moon, so we're all going to be sitting here like, yeah, this is what's going on right now. But, yeah, seriously, if you're going to be home during the Aries new moon, it's going to be very good for you. Like, if you're home this week, with everything going on, it'll help you a lot. Especially dealing with how everyone's moods are just going to. Because usually when I know my experience in the ER, I was probably the calmest person they've ever seen in that ER, and I was dying. But it's like people have such heightened energy when they're there because either they're in panic or they're demanding attention or like whatever they're doing, they're just expecting things to happen once they're there. And feeling that and not even being a nurse there, I can imagine what it, because I was an animal nurse before this, but because I worked in emergency with animals and things like that, and just knowing like at least the animals, they don't understand and aren't cussing you out, but it's like with people it was kind of ridiculous because I was in liver failure and I didn't even know it, and I had been at work and my boss told me my eyes were yellow, and so I went into the ER. I was very calm. My boyfriend was freaking out because I literally got this feeling like, because the boss was a veterinarian and he was telling me like, you need to go to the doctor, and I was like, okay, and the first thing that came in my mind, not doctor, go to ER, and I was like, okay, so it's like, and it was a calm voice, so I knew it was my intuition. And so I called my boyfriend and I told him come pick me up. And he was like, why? I'm like, I need to take you to take me to the ER. He was freaking out, and I'm just completely calm the whole time because I pretty much had this thing with me where it was like, this is supposed to be going on, like just go with it. And it's like they took me back and they were doing tests, and it's like they didn't want to tell me what was wrong with me because it was so bad. I didn't realize how bad it was until I think I had already been there about 4 or 5 days when I found out actually how bad in failure I was. But it's like I got there, I was super calm, and it's like all this hectic around me, and they kept coming to me and talking to me, asking me if I was coherent because I was calm, and it's like I could tell them who I was and everything. And it's like I was stuck in the ER because it was crazy packed. This is a huge hospital. Like I'm right down the street from a really good hospital. And it's like the ER was just packed and everyone was going psycho. And I think it was actually at the time that Pluto and Saturn were conjunct at the beginning of the year. Because it was either the day before that or that exact day that I went into the ER. But, and those being conjunct were hitting my 7th house and my house of health as well. So that was some strong energy to hit me that day. But I actually was meditating while I was sitting in the ER. Everyone's screaming and cussing, and I'm just over there on my little cot waiting to be put in my room, because I didn't know what was going on with me because it was hush hush and no one knew what to say. Everyone just kept asking me, do you drink, do you smoke, do you do this? And I was like, no, I don't do anything. And they kept getting tests and just getting negatives and not knowing what was wrong with me, until I told them, like, you guys, I have autoimmune diseases too. And then all of a sudden they were testing me for this extremely rare disease. So turned out I had that, but it's like, yeah, I mystically became yellow because when you're in liver failure, you get icteric and you start turning yellow, and my skin turned into a neon banana, and I didn't know it. But yeah, I was getting some pretty crazy looks sitting there meditating like a neon banana until I got put into a room, and then I realized I was put on the terminally ill floor. And I'm sitting here like, man, these people had a lot of what was it, like a lot of confidence in my recovery. But yeah, I was calm the whole time. I had music playing when people, even though they poked and prodded me at least 4 to 5 times a day, like getting blood and stuff, trying to, because I didn't figure out what was wrong with me until like the 4th or 5th day, and then they instantly started treatment for it, and it sent me into like one of those panic attacks, but like the uncontrollable ones, because my heart literally felt like a heart attack, and I hadn't had one in like years, and so it was like I had a bad reaction to that medication. But they were trying to shut down my immune system so it quit attacking my organs, and I'm still on that. But I'm doing better. But definitely you have to protect your energy in there, because I wasn't even dealing with those people and I was trying to meditate them out of my mind while I was sitting there. Especially that guy that was screaming like all the way down the hallway because someone found his freaking drugs in his pocket. That was something else. I was just like, oh my gosh. But when I was there, I was really calm because in a way it was really strange. It's like being already having a medical background, I already knew something was really wrong. I was pretty sure I was in liver failure because of the signs of my eyes already being yellow and how they were tiptoeing around me, not wanting to say anything. Found out I was 2 days away from a liver transplant if I didn't get better, or I was gonna like die or something. But it's like they didn't tell me that till way later because I guess they felt I couldn't handle it or something. But it's like I was really calm the whole time because I knew something was wrong, but at the same time I wouldn't have gotten the guidance to come in there, so I kind of started meditating without thinking about it. It wasn't really like a conscious thing, it just happened. And it's like I just kind of sat there and did it. It wasn't like I was trying to ground myself, it was like a natural reaction. But definitely it's been a long journey since then because I'm still doing it where I'm always asking for help with healing and doing tons of shadow work and stuff. So it really made me sit my butt down and do some things. Yeah, where I am, there are a lot of people that are well off, but then there's also people that go into that hospital because they don't turn people away, and they're also known as they're a very well-known hospital, and they're a very huge hospital at that. So people go in there, even if they aren't of privilege, they go in there with the attitude, assuming they're going to get service, and the way they treat people really isn't okay. And I always thank doctors and nurses for everything they do, because I've been on the other side where people are yelling or upset because you can't fix everything, or you're not like this magic genie where you can snap your fingers and everything's better. It's like you can only do what you can in the realm of what you're given. But yeah, enough about me. I'm just sitting here talking about myself. But yeah, I'm glad I'm doing better. Thank you, Jen. But how about I do some personal week aheads for you guys while we're waiting for the others before I pick crystals for pick a cards. Yeah, people want fast healing, but a lot of them don't realize a lot of it would come from actually doing some internal work too, because we do create a lot of what's happening to us, and this is from my own experience. Like, I definitely created a lot of my stuff by not listening. Okay, Jen, let's see what we can get out for this week ahead. I'm going to pull you some Dreams of Gaia tarot to see what's going on with your week. Now, everyone, if stuff comes out that is really weird and wacky this week, there's a lot of weird and wacky energy going on, so no one feel attacked. Oh no, my little... I say that and I'm attacking my little moon. He speaks it. Pixie. There we go. When you're meditating, you can connect with a whole lot of different things. It just depends on where you are putting your intentions. For me, I don't usually use my time while I'm meditating for things like that, because my dreams do enough of that by themselves. If I feel really called to, I will, like I did in the beginning of my journey. I felt really called to meditate to actually find out who my guides were, because I wanted to be able to personally thank them for helping me, and that was more of like a thing that I wanted to do. But for me with meditation, it's like I've had to learn, like it took me months to get to a place where I have kind of like an energy protection, grounding, like just acknowledging everything when I meditate, as opposed to like trying to do extra things. Because I always do it at night before I sleep, and I always do it before I do any readings. And I'm kind of wanting to incorporate another bit of it at some part of the day, and I'm trying to decide. I haven't decided yet, but for something extra, because I'm gonna start. It's gonna be kind of hard because I'm already feeling it coming on, but I'm going to have to be doing some shadow work that's not going to be pleasant. So I know I'm going to be needing more meditation. You gotta make yourself sit down and do it, though. But you can definitely do anything during meditation if you set your intention for it. Let's see, this week ahead. The thing with meditation is you got to find the way that works for you, because everyone's different. Some people can meditate while creating, like painting, writing, things like that. Some people can meditate by sitting still. Some meditate while listening to music, while cleaning. Some meditate with dance. It's like meditation is more of a state where you're at peace and you're just not thinking of things other than being in the moment. So when you can do that and you find the thing that makes it easy to do that, that's the best way for you to meditate. it shouldn't be, it's not one-dimensional. Like, everyone is so different that forcing yourself to do something isn't going to really make you happy. So you're not going to look forward to it. With meditation, it should be something that brings you peace, not brings you anxiety because you're thinking about doing it. Yeah. Definitely telling you not to be the hero this week, Jen. It's a good thing you're taking it off. Ooh. Okay, we're going to leave that one over there because it fell like that, so we're just going to do that. So, there's a lot of different energies happening for you this week, obviously. We're all going to have some pretty funky energies going on. Now, I really feel like being home, you're going to be in your element, but at the same time, with this fiery energy like I was talking about earlier, try to stay more in the grateful, generous side of this fiery energy and the motivated side of it. And don't sink into this side of it where you're at constant push and pull between your logic and your emotions, because that's going to be a big thing right now that's going to be popping up for a lot of people, is like trying to balance out acknowledging their emotions and then working through issues, as opposed to letting things override and turn into like emotional turmoil and also into like a constant mind spin of everything that's going on. So it's really about not being in this energy and being in these energies, because with this water over here, and if you look here in this card, it has the symbolism here of the maiden and the mother and the crone. And this energy is really about learning to take joy in the moment and to nurture and love, and then also come into this blossoming of knowing your true inner self at the same time and trusting your intuition and really standing in that and being secure in that, and it helps bring out that nurturing, generous nature. And one thing to really watch out for, like I was telling you, it's all about how you look at things. Perception can be very skewed right now, because if emotions are coming up and things are swirling around and you're not able to tell what is you and what is the person next to you, or even a person you're texting, because emotions are going to be that heightened right now, if you can't get a grip on what is you and what is someone else, or even a group of people, then it's really going to pull you out of this energy and turn it more into this energy where you're feeling like you need to fix everything, when in reality that's not what you're being called to do right now. It's almost like you're being told to drop that act and be more into the energy of knowing you already have what you need here, and the threads of fate have already been woven and you're safe. Like, the spider even has an infinity symbol on it. So it's almost like this luck is trying to come to you, but if you're staying in these energies and allowing them to overrun you, what's going to happen is you're actually going to break the union you've been building with yourself, because this right here is a very strong union to your intuition and to your empathetic side and your nurturing. And this week is really important because it's trying to break you out of anything that could possibly be holding you back from being in those energies, because it's almost like your guides are trying to come through and just give you this and let you know, hey, like, this is what's going on with you, here's some more knowledge for you, so that way you can keep growing instead of falling into this energy where you start to not trust yourself. And it's the same with this here. It's like fighting against being in your power and losing security. And it can feel like you're losing secure footing when things are being pulled away. Like I said, this week is going to start like this huge thing of purge. And once the purging starts, some things are going to be falling away. And that can definitely make you feel like you're losing security and like you need to hold on to things. Just know that it's really about keeping your perception in check and realizing like this is all happening for my greater good, as opposed to trying to just cut it off, because you cut that off and you're going to cut off your connection you're starting to build with your guides right now. So you have beautiful energy and they just really want you to keep it this week because it's going to be starting a bunch. So if you feel it, just probably a good thing you're home because you'd be feeling it a lot worse at work. Just use this week for a lot of introspection. And when things come up that really bother you, kind of take a step back and breathe a little bit and don't allow it to take over, and try to kind of shift your perception of it. Especially if someone says something to you that is just really rude and out of character and you're like, well, what the hell did I do to deserve that? But it's not like you did anything. It's just things are really hectic, and if people don't understand it, that's the kind of energy they're going to give off. So don't take it personal. Just kind of flip it around and look at things and go, you know, I understand it. I probably won't get an apology for it, but at least I know it's not me and I can move away from it. But yeah, definitely stay in your own this week. It's a really good week for introspection, especially since you're home. 2 of Earth came out there too. But yeah, it can really make you have trouble staying balanced if you're letting other people's emotions, especially if you're starting to learn your empathy and everything and it's new to you. You really need to protect your energy right now. So learning that would probably be a really good thing to do while you're off this week. Would you stream? Oh, I just saw that. Would you stream a meditation? And what a shower. I don't know. I've never said a meditation out loud, but I could try it. Oh my gosh, hun. Well, maybe your guides know that you need more time to process, and that's why they keep making stuff like that happen. So that way, it's like you can sit back and just watch your stuff after, because it was like messages that they were wanting to give you. So with cleansing, and I hope your little one's okay. Sounds like a tough one though. With cleansing, I typically use my selenite for cleansing my decks. This is my main one that I use. But I don't really do like a whole crazy ritual thing for cleansing them. I just have like a lot of trust with stuff, and I think that's what helps, is just trusting. Hey, I'd be upset falling off the bed too. I know I get upset, and I'm older. Well, all my stuff is in the same room as all of these. They're like literally like right below them. So, I mean, they got all this up here. And this is my little, not really little, but this is my citrine right here. Well, one of them. I got other citrine, but I really like this one. But, I mean, I could try one of these times doing a meditation with you guys. I'd have to, like, kind of work out how I would do it, though. Because usually it's, like, all in my head and it's very visual. It's very visual. Can I talk? I just can't talk right now. But, the way I do things is I'm quiet the whole time, but it's like I'm going through each step and I go through different guides that I speak to that are my guides, and then I incorporate everyone, and then once I go through that, I go through from my root all the way up to my crown chakra, thanking each one that works with me on each chakra. And then I go into, with my nightly ones, I go through protection on the people that I love and like different things that might be going on. And then for the ones before readings, I always ask to make sure my energy is protected during the readings and nothing attaches. It's like, it's one of those, like, it's very personal, but at the same time, I could see maybe possibly tuning it to where people could put their guides in and stuff. Yeah, I meditate with crystals as well sometimes. Like when I'm really pulled to, like I'll meditate with certain ones. So, who's our third person that hasn't said hi? You got a shy one? From what I remember, jaguars are really good. I mean, all spirit animals are really good to have. But it's something about confidence and protection with them. To be honest, I haven't dived a whole lot into human design, but some of the stuff I read kind of went with and some didn't. But I think everything has connections, like pretty much everything I dive into and I kind of go into a rabbit hole for a couple of days, I always find a link to where it connects to something else. Like, I mean, tarot, numerology, astrology, the way certain aspects of other religions intertwine. It's just like there's so much stuff that just goes together that it's easier to find the similarities and how they connect and pull them to give messages as opposed to saying like how things are so different. And I'm not gonna lie, the number 44 has been following me everywhere for like over a week. And I put 44 on the end of my name before I was seeing it. It was just random, like, I'm gonna put 44 because it adds to 8, and 8 seems to be everywhere. But now 44 is everywhere I look. Like right now, I'm looking at my thing and it's 44. Like, I've already seen 44, like, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times today in different places. And that's been happening every day. And it always happens with master numbers. Like if it's on the clock, it'll be like 11:44, or like I've seen 11:44 like almost every single day somewhere. But I'm just kind of going with it right now. Yeah, 555 is very freedom oriented, and it's also with how it reduces to the 15-4. Sorry, I said that wrong, 15-6. It really brings in this feeling of being able to push ahead and have the freedom, as well as have that energy of love and trying to bring healing and community as well. So it's almost like creating from this place where you're trying to bring community and love together, as well as being able to put yourself out there and have the determination to do it yourself, as opposed to needing other people to really back you on everything, which can get difficult, especially when, say, you're trying to do a project and you feel like you have to share it among everybody as opposed to doing it your way. With this, it's more the energy of do it yourself and others will follow. So it's more like sticking to your truth and finding freedom in that and creating in that space. And then the people that are supposed to be around you will be attracted to you. And 5's also Mercury energy, if I'm remembering right too. So it's really good for communication and working with your hands as well. So would anyone else want a personal weekly before I start pulling crystals for the pick a cards? Yeah, I tend to, when I see numbers, I sit there and think, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. It's pretty much just being encouraged to keep doing it. Like, don't lose faith if something goes wrong. Like, they're trying to tell you you're doing the right thing. Okay, I'll pull you one, Anne. I'll do a Muse Tarot for you. I mean, to be honest, everything doesn't need to have a name. If it has an energy and you understand it, that's what's important. I know there's people that name their crystals, but there's just, like, how am I supposed... when you're like, you know, I'm sorry guys, I do not have a good enough memory for naming all these crystals I have. For me, it's more of a feeling, though. Oh, and like I've told you guys before, if you're pulled to any of the crystals, let me know and I'll tell you about those too. Oh. Yeah, I saw it somewhere before where people name their crystals or something like that. I'm like, dude, no. There's no way. Like, maybe if you have like 3 and they're like your best friends. But this is just my workspace. Like, and there's these little bitties over here. I have a lot of little bitties too, so it's like, in my room I have tons of them too. Now, Owen's the one that named Pindalulu. I actually didn't name Pindalulu. He's in love with her. So that was all Owen. Okay, so first thing I'm going to tell you this weekend is to remember to breathe, because there is going to be some slow movement on things that you really want to go faster, and it'll cause you a lot of anxiety and internal conflict if you don't just kind of step back and realize that, you know, you can be content in the moment right now if you just kind of ease off a little bit, because this is going to be beating yourself up pretty bad because you feel things aren't coming in the way they should be. But I mean, I was saying that more like a joke, but there probably are people, and I'm not trying to offend them if they have crystal BFFs, but I can't sit here and be like, oh, I pick you as my favorite. I mean, I have a special place in my heart for my big spectralite, because that was a really precious gift given to me. But it's not like I'm sitting here best friending. You know, I don't have like this thing where it's like, this is my absolute favorite. It's just like, you know, the energy is really great. But for one, and this week, balance is going to be so important for you. And I think a lot of this comes from more a mental state, because we do have materials which are pinnacles here, but it's more, they're representing very slow moving energy, as well as the need to really be conscious of being grateful for what is there. So it's not necessarily talking about manifesting, things, it's more about grounding yourself right now, because you're already in the place where you're starting to tune into your guides and you're starting to listen, but at the same time you can't get impatient with yourself if you feel like things are being taken from you or things aren't fair, or maybe even there could be some deceiving going on. But I feel like it's more like you're deceiving yourself because of the way you're talking to yourself, because of how these things are coming in, because this is a lot of irritability, and this is making me think of that full moon energy. So it's like a lot of irritability that things are coming in so slowly when you're wanting it to just go, and you have to realize that this is just causing a lot of struggle. When it's like, because you have so many ideas right now is the whole thing, and there's a lot of stuff you're wanting to just springboard and start, and it's like they're letting you know that's coming up, but it's going to take time, because you need to build a stability with what's going on. And as you build that up slowly, because it's coming in and the security's coming in, you have to do a lot of internal work and figure out where you're fighting yourself on certain things, so that way you can actually, and I think this is kind of talking about some shadow work as well, it's like you needing to acknowledge yourself inwardly for the things that you're proud of, as opposed to feeling like you're not enough. So that way you can actually step more into this energy and actually be comfortable with the slow moving energy here. And one thing here that is really sticking out to me is how this Knight of Pentacles up here actually has a succulent in the picture. And the thing with succulents is they don't need a whole lot. It's like they need sun, like, you know, the sunlight to grow, to help them keep getting bigger and bigger, but they don't necessarily need like the best environment or tons of water or attention every single day. It's like what's coming to you slowly doesn't necessarily need all this attention that you are driving yourself crazy with. Like, it's okay for these things not to come in, because this is supposed to be an introspecting period for you. Like this week, if things aren't physically manifesting in front of you at the speed you want, it's because your guides are trying to come in and make you do this inner work, like inner work with them, inner work with your own self-value, and with how you talk to yourself and how things go around in your mind, and also with how you let other people talk to you. Because that can actually bring in treachery itself when they plant seeds and you're allowing them to grow in your mind. It's just really connect with your guides and just come to a really calm place. And if there's anything you want to create, they're really encouraging you to create, like get out all of this inward as a creation. Like if you want to make something physical, make a creation. Instead of feeling like something needs to come in and be put in front of you, you make it. So that way you're pulling all of this out and putting it in front of you, so that way you can reflect on it as well. But you definitely need to give yourself more credit and more love and acknowledgement, and quit trying to find it from an outside source, because it's going to cause a lot of internal conflict within yourself. There was something else, and I'm trying to remember it, because there was another message in here, and I'm... Okay, well that helped. So it's the choice. That's what I forgot. I'm glad I do that randomly, because sometimes it helps me get back on track. So it was basically, what was just there was the Lovers reversed. And it's like warning against not making the choice to do this, because your shadow work is literally these things. It's like diving in and finding out why you're having a hard time giving yourself these things and why you feel like you're not worthy of them and where these internal conflicts are coming from. So your shadow work is more deep diving into understanding these things, so you're not so impatient with how slow it's going and you're not putting your value on something appearing in front of you. It's finding that balance to where you feel safe creating without something needing to be there before you create, or have the you can go ahead and do it before you create. So what your shadow work would be more than likely is to find out, where does this stem from? Where does this feeling of not holding the same value in myself and not being okay with doing something without the acknowledgement of others, like where is this stemming from and why do I fight with it? Because when you find out where it stems from and you acknowledge it and you acknowledge the emotions with it, and then you go into releasing, it's like that's how you're doing the shadow work. It's like you're acknowledging, this is a part of me. It's not like you're throwing it away. You're acknowledging that it's a part of you and you're allowing it space. But once you understand it, it's not something that overruns you anymore. And that's what shadow work is. It's like, you know it's there, you know it's within you, but instead of allowing it to control you, when it happens and you feel it coming up, you can rest and pull back and know that, okay, this is what this is. Instead of, tossing it off and then it always coming back, because you can't really toss it off. But yeah, definitely they're wanting you this week to make the choice to choose yourself and not worry as much about how your external is developing slowly, because it will develop as you're developing. So don't feel like this need for everything to come in very quickly, because it's just not going to. But just allow yourself to do the internal work and find out where it stems, and don't stay stuck in that place either. Once you find out what it is and you acknowledge it, slowly help move yourself out of it, because if you stay in it, that's when it becomes a problem, because you can fall into that. So it's like this temperance here, like find the balance and then rely on your guidance to help you through the phases of everything. But that's what is coming through for you this week. You're welcome, and I don't feel like, because when you feel like you have something to prove, it's almost like you're trying to get that outside acknowledgement. When you realize you don't have anything to prove to some people around you, or to the world or anything like that, it's more of a place where you're acknowledging how you make yourself feel and how the things that you do they bring you happiness or do they bring you anxiety? It's more you acknowledging your own self and realizing that through not needing to prove anything to others. And I'm actually speaking to myself with this, Anne, so this is pretty interesting that you brought this up. But by not allowing others' views of what you're doing to diminish what you feel is important to you, you actually step into a place where you're releasing the burden of not being enough, because by doing those things, you're feeling like you're not enough for the people you're trying to prove it to. when in reality you're enough as you are. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick some crystals I am drawn to for the paper card. Let's see. You know, I'm really feeling this one. Not just because it's pretty, but this is pyrite. And I'm just really feeling pulled to that one. And we're gonna do our pretty citrine. I'm just getting pulled to yellows right now. Let's see. This one's been jumping at me, so we're gonna do our druzy agate owl. And who is my last? Why not? This is lapis lazuli. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually very sparkly. This one actually kind of reminds me of the earth a little bit, which I really like about it. But the orange one and the treasure. Ooh, smacking my poor babies everywhere today. But the orange one right here is peach or orange selenite. It goes by both names, the peach or the orange, because the raw form of this one, when it's not polished, is very peach. And look, I actually have a peach one that's a raw form that's looks more like this one over here, this long selenite. But I have a peach one in my room that's like that. But so these are going to be the choices. We have lapis lazuli, druzy agate owl, or citrine, and pyrite. So let's go ahead and do. Would you guys like a sound meditation, or do you want to go into the readings? It's up to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. sorry, I bumped the camera. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the pyrite pile. Okay, so first out this week, we got so many energies flying around. So I'm going to begin each with the main energies for the pile. Just drop and jump. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see what the main energy is coming out for my pyrite pile. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Third chakra blockage, which is the solar plexus, the confidence, and the following the dreams. And that one just flipped. Freaking 34. I'm telling you, I can't get away from that number. But, so, for the first part, these are the energies for my pyrite pile this week. We have all tied up to start with. Now, in this picture, there's a lot of color specifically on her. And the main colors are the purples and the blues and the greens. Now, this makes me feel like with this group, it's almost like the focus is so tied in to what is going on externally that you're not paying attention to what is going on heart-wise, and it's really blocking off your upper chakras, because if your heart's closed off, it's hard for you to receive clear messages. And with this having the energy, it does, based off of, when I say having the energy, I'm usually looking at numerology when I'm talking, if you guys are wondering when I say that. It has the energy of being connected to intuition and creativity and wanting freedom in these areas. So having that energy to it, it's like you're wanting to break out of this feeling, but the way you're going to need to go about it is acknowledging you need to heal your heart space, because that's also connected here with having this third chakra blockage, which is your solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus comes right before the heart, and the connection it has is literally you connecting almost as an inner child healing, because the solar plexus is that pure desire that comes from us. It's like that soul desire and the confidence to pursue it and be proud of ourselves and acknowledge ourselves. And this has the energy of creativity also. Like, these are, sorry about that loud noise, these are connected in the need for creativity to be able to be released. But at the same time, this chakra needing to be opened is more introspective energy. It's energy about going within and finding out what you need to heal in order to pull this creativity out. And it's something you need to do yourself, and you need to have the motivation to do it. And with this right here, the woman holding a heart, it's like learning to not be afraid to show your vulnerability, because with this picture with her, she has hearts on different parts of her. She has a black heart on her arm, and she has a heart that she's holding, but there's etchings out of it, so it's not really a full heart. So what's interesting is she actually has a butterfly where her third eye is. So there's transformation happening in that space. But once again, she's not fully allowing the aspects of her heart to be healed. Like, there needs to be this introspection that happens. And with the 44-8 energy, it's really about building this strong foundation, and this is a foundation that wants to be built in love. But it's going to be a lot of hard work. It'll be worth it, because you'll definitely reap the benefits of doing this hard work. But it also uproots a lot of things, and a lot of unexpected things can happen, because the 4 energy also ties to Uranus. So it can bring unexpected uprootings, but also unexpected bouts of genius, or also just random insights that we're not expecting. So this can really come through if this healing starts happening this week. So for our next ones, I want to pull, since it seems like this week might actually be pulling us to do healing. Well, it seems like this week's pulling us to do healing, especially with the full moon Aries release and all the crazy energies with it. Let's look into specifically what... Oh, sorry, I didn't even show you guys the deck. But I'm going to use the Heal Yourself reading cards to... Oh, I am just smacking this poor thing all up over the place. But I'm going to do this for the piles to see where exactly we possibly can do the healing or the shadow work, because like this is telling us like these things need to be healed, but possibly see where it needs to be healed. And first thing out is family and tribe, and that can mean quite a few things. It could mean you have relations to your family that actually block these things off from you because you shut down in order to deal with situations. Or it could mean that you're trying really hard to pull this into you and it's blocked from you while you're doing this, and it's causing you more turmoil because you feel very alone. But the thing is, you really have to learn to find your own personal power instead of feeling like you always need to rely on others and just giving broken pieces of yourself. Then we have temptation. Yeah, definitely. It's almost like it's so easy to go back to what you know, and a lot of times there's a stubborn energy that can come with that. Like, you know, some people, yeah, that happens a lot. Just wait for that to pass. Okay. But, I mean, there's a fire, what you call it? Fire... At the place where they keep all the firemen in the fire trucks, I can't remember what it's called. but there's one right down the street, as well as the hospital. I'm really hoping that there aren't more fires, because I walked outside today and literally it hit me that it was possible to have more fires. I don't know why, and then instantly smoke smell hit me, and then it went away, and I was like, please no, because it was bad enough when we had that lovely apocalypse sky going on and we couldn't breathe, but the temperature is going back up into the hundreds again today, so hopefully that's not going to happen. But with this temptation here, it's almost like warning against that stubborn feeling of like they know that it's hard to do this work, it's hard to do all these things, and it's so easy to fall back into, yep, right here, it's like you can't heal if you keep going and not releasing the cycles. Like, yeah, they've been made, but these need to be released, and it needs to be released by loving, because if you're looking at what you keep going through and replaying it over and over again, what's happening is you're learning how to not love yourself, when in reality the only way to break these cycles, especially if it's something that started like generational, like possibly trauma was passed down through the family line and it's hitting you and you're trying to find a way to not repeat it, it starts with being able to love yourself and not view anything as making you unworthy of love, because it's all just pieces of you that help you be who you are. And it'll really open up that heart space, as well as start helping you open up the blocked solar plexus chakra, which in turn opens up your intuition too. Yeah. And then we have here healing, but it's reversed too. So it's almost like, don't fight the healing, because this right here, it's like very painful healing. Don't fight it, because it's really needed. Like, in order to break this cycle, this healing is needed, like on so many levels. And I'm trying to find a place for my cards over here. But this healing is needed on so many levels. And the thing is, there's still faith here, and they're still trying to hold on to this little bit of light you have. You really need to tune into that and realize that that light's actually a lot more than you think it is, and let go of the feeling that going back to the old is the best thing. Because once you do that and you start doing the hard work of really going in and realizing that these cycles don't serve you and they're holding you back from your true potential, you can start the healing that's been blocked off for so long. And I mean, this is very deep for a weekly energy, so this isn't necessarily saying you're going to do all this in 1 week. I think what this is trying to say is this is a journey that's starting this week. So when you're feeling it really heavy, know you're starting this journey, and to start being gentle with yourself while you're working through it. And I want to use the Ethereal Visions Tarot to get a little more insight into the challenges or obstacles that are going to come up this week. Oh, that one decided to come out. Yeah, balancing to a Pentacles. First, it just wanted to fall out. It wanted to fall out by itself while I was shuffling. It wasn't a jump, it just like fell out neatly, like balance. Learn to balance. And the thing is, one thing too is, this is also with how this art looks. It's trying to tell you up here that there is something that's more important for you to be focusing on right now. And you're looking, if you look at this card, you're looking down at the one that isn't as important to be focused on. And it's like, whereas this up here would elevate you, and you need to focus more on this. And this really is speaking to me of doing the healing, whereas this is speaking of like allowing external influences in to tell you what to do. So like Jen's reading, I feel like perspective and stepping back and being able to look at things for what they are, as opposed to getting stuck in one place. And if you're doing this healing and you feel like you're stuck in one place, try to pull back and see what's really important. Because, okay, that's too much, but because sometimes what happens when we're doing work like this is we can get pulled into a depression or a state where we're stuck. So it's always good to take breaks if you feel like you're going down a rabbit hole. Yeah, like this right here with this King of Pentacles reversed, it can feel like a very restrictive and heavy energy, almost like Saturn energy, which makes sense. It's going direct on the 29th. But it can feel very restrictive and almost like the security isn't hinged in the way you would like it to be, and it's very unstable. And what's interesting is, once again, you have like another Pentacles, but this is showing more of what you're focusing on with this. Like, this is an obstacle here for you to be focusing on this kind of energy this week. That's the kind of energy that you need to catch yourself if you're falling into that and realize, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then also we have the Page of Swords, which immediately the first thing I heard is watch how you're talking to yourself. Also, learn to put up barriers of how you allow others to talk to you, because things, especially if you have a lot of things that you're doing that you're proud of, and you're trying to build yourself up, you're trying to heal yourself, and someone comes in and says something, and you allow it to break all the work you've done, for one, you got to take accountability for allowing someone to have that kind of power over you. Two, you have to realize that that person doesn't have your best interest at heart if they're willing to come in and do that kind of damage to you mentally, knowing how it'll affect you. Because the opportunities they want to come to you this week is literally moving into this power of understanding yourself in a sense that's both spiritual, and also being able to move on from what's been holding you back. It's like very confident. They want you to step into this confidence energy a lot by helping clear out this solar plexus block. Yeah, this right here, it's the best thing to help you guys is to not block off the messages that are coming in, because with Temperance here, it's like the same thing with this Balance. The only way you're going to be able to transmute these energies into beneficial energies is if you can balance out what is important and what isn't. And then also at the same time, because this card also has the third eye on it, being able to understand your intuition and trust it. Because if you don't, you'll keep falling back into this energy and allowing other people to come in and disrupt your peace. So, since we have some, not just some, we got a lot of planetary stuff happening this week, I'm going to pull some astrology just to see for my pyrites where they're being affected the most, possibly which planet. I'm using the Black Moon astrology cards. But possibly where you're being affected the most, like what energy is affecting the most, maybe it might be your sign pops up here, or one of your planets that have a certain sign, so you can actually look at it if you know your chart to see what aspects are happening, because sometimes when we know that, we can find out, okay, this is why I'm feeling so blocked off, this is why my energy is so funky. So this is just some insight into possibly aspects or planets or signs, anything that's coming up this week that is really adding into this energy. So we have Scorpio in reverse with I transform, Taurus upright with I have, Capricorn upright with I use, and Aquarius I know. So a whole bunch of energy with signs, but I'm going to go into this also bringing in some of these planets. Now with the Scorpio I transform, this also has the intuition, but this is in reverse. Now Scorpio ties to the planet Pluto, and Pluto's going to be in retrograde until Sunday, so the very end of the week is when this goes direct. So this energy of Pluto and this transformation and this purging, you're going to be starting to feel it, but it's not going to be in its full effect till next week. So I believe this is what this is trying to say. So if you're starting to feel things like things are pushing you, like this right here, this whole week is kind of pushing you to start your healing and start your purging, but it's not really going to fully have that shove until next week, because that's when Pluto's going to go direct as Sunday. And then we have right here with the Taurus, we have the stability and the movement forward and the freedom. And right now Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus in retrograde, and it's just basically pulling a whole lot of stuff away we don't need right now. And next week it's going to be, trying to think of where it is, I think it's going to be coming pretty close to what's called a quincunx with the sun, which is a positive aspect. And it's going to, and since sun's in Libra, it's going to be about balancing and your relationships and being able to build a strong foundation in that, as well as yourself, and having more freedom. Like this right here I have, it's like having more freedom to be yourself, to be more open, and all this green is like that healing of the heart space. And there's even golden in here too with the solar plexus. So really going with this Taurus energy, or the my gosh, the energy of Uranus is really beneficial to you guys next week. Also, wherever you have Taurus in your chart, you can look for the house, and you'll be able to see where this is really taking effect for you. Now with Capricorn, we have Saturn going direct, which is in Capricorn on 29th, and Pluto's also in Capricorn, and it doesn't go direct till Sunday. This has a master number 22, about building communities, helping communities, and solving problems. And it's like with the IUs, it's like using the intellect to, and the logic to build this in and make it into your material reality. So being able to kind of, this perception and this work ethic to kind of pull yourself out and really push forward with doing this healing this week is how you're really going to be able to use this Capricorn energy that all these planets are in right now. And then with Aquarius here, with the I know energy, this is intuition and creativity also combining with freedom. So having, it's like how all this is combining, like this is tied up to the tied up card. It's like being able to go within yourself and have that inner knowing, and that's what's going to help you unravel what's binding you right now. It's that trust in yourself that is actually going to help you. And also knowing that what you're doing is for a greater purpose as well, and also knowing the friendships, like how with this one, like knowing who around you is actually there for you and for your best interest, and being able to release those who are holding you back. And I'm going to keep pulling these little affirmations for a while because we're going to need them. So my little sweet dreams, we're going to keep doing these because we're going to need some affirmations for a while. So let's get 2 of these for the pyrite. Oh goodness. People are just... See, it's not even the full moon yet and people are losing their dang minds. But, go ahead and get some affirmations here for the pyrite pile. Manifest. My dreams help me to manifest all that I need. So, with this card, since what's really coming through is this healing, you could be getting ways that can help you with tuning into yourself and doing the healing, or even being shown parts that you might have repressed that you need to heal in your dreams, especially if they're reoccurring. So don't ignore any reoccurring dreams right now, especially if it's something that keeps triggering you and upsetting you. Like, definitely write it down and try to dissect it, so that way you can possibly find a clue that it's trying to give you that can help you with your healing journey. And then, there we go, we have fearlessness. I pay close attention to my heart and mind. I do not allow fear to distract me. That is definitely needed for this, because doing work like this can be very daunting and it can be very scary. So definitely having that feeling that not allowing the mind to interfere but allowing the heart to heal is very important right now. So let me read pyrite for you guys. So pyrite is a very protective stone, shielding the user from negative energy of all kinds. It is known as the stone of luck, helping to attract abundance, wealth, and prosperity to the user. It's used for creative energies of manifestation and encouragement to follow one's dreams. Well, that went with that pile pretty well. And it's also known as fool's gold for those that don't know that, because it does have the look of gold. But that is the pyrite pile that we have. My next one is going to be my citrines. Did anyone pick pyrite by any chance? Okay, so my citrines, let's see what energies are going to be most prominent for you this week. Oh, interesting. Just right out the bat with that one. Okay. Oh, okay. So, first one we have is yin and yang, and it's reversed. Now, immediately what I thought is this week you are going to feel very unbalanced, especially since this is coming through with the energy of intuition and foundation. It's almost going to be like what things are built on are going to feel very unbalanced for you, and it's going to be like this tug of war trying to figure out just what to build, what you want to understand on. And then it's going to bring in this energy of you needing to really almost like create a game plan for doing this, which is good because it has like this energy of you really taking charge and trying to do it, but also combining it with your intuition, which creates this kind of idea of how to do it, whether you're journaling or you are creating little pictures to help you get it out and understand it, or however you find a way to create and bring out this energy that's making you feel like you're not balanced and help you to balance yourself. That's going to be the main energy coming through, because over here with cornucopia we have another master number with 11, and this one's very spiritual. It's like a personal spiritual path, and it also has like these all have intuition built into them, but the ones that you're struggling to balance right now are reversed. So it's like really coming into trust and creating with your intuition and really having the drive to do that, because by doing that you open yourself to the blessings. Because right now I feel like this week the blessings are a little blocked because you need to work on these energies and find that balance and open up. And having all these golds in the abundance over here is of solar plexus. But then we also have over here this blue that's really like coming in strong. So it's more of like a throat chakra and solar plexus. So it's speaking your desires and what you truly want. That's really important this week, and then finding a way and making a plan to do that. So we need to see what our main places where we're having these blockages are. What can, if there's shadow work or specific ways of healing coming through here. This is really coming in strong for you guys. We got have faith here, and it's on top of the yin yang 22, and it's a 22. Like, it's really for you guys to have this balance that you need to learn faith. Like, it is coming through so strong. Faith in yourself, faith in intuition, faith in your truth, faith in your guides. It's just there's this big calling of needing to just let go and have faith in what's happening around you. Otherwise you're blocking your, this one doesn't want to, yeah, see, it's like this goes straight back to this right here with the solar plexus. It's like having the courage to be in your truth. It's like it's blocked off, blocking your creativity, and it's hitting this plans that you need to make. It's like you need to be confident enough in yourself where you can create these foundational plans for yourself so you can move forward. It's like it's so connected for you to have the faith and to open up. And it's going to take time. Like, this is starting for you this week, but this is a journey of discovering how to have the confidence in yourself and the authenticity and speak it out into the world. Yeah, because it's almost like you're blocking off what you dream, as well as probably your own dreams that are trying to help you. Because having this come through, and we have 3 and 3 here, so a lot of your confidence is dwindling away because you feel like you're having to give up your dreams. And the truth is you don't have to, and they're trying to make sure you know, like, have faith, don't give up. And also, if they're trying to come through to you in your dreams, don't block them off. And since we saw journaling up here, possibly dream journaling. Yeah, because this is what they want to bring into you right here. This is Phoenix Rising. They want to help you step into your Phoenix energy, your transformative energy, to come back from what has happened. And once again, with this another 3 over here, it's like you need this creation and this golden, it's like all tying together. Like you really need this solar plexus and your intuition to come together so you can create what you need to come out of this space where you feel like it's just dwindling away and you're losing your light. Because this will really give you true freedom if you just allow the faith to come through. So let's see, obstacles and blessings for my citrine. Just wanted to jump out, that's fine. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah. There's just so much healing here that comes from possibly things that were said to you or how you speak to yourself as a consequence of things that happened. Because having this 7 of Cups over here with this person in the mask, and it's like just this whole look of this card is very almost, I feel like, a negative energy that really hurt on an emotional level. And it was almost like so many things fell away, and it made it to where in order to survive you had to put up a mask of what wasn't who you were. And it created a lot of disillusionment and a lot of just, it's like losing faith in what you really want to do, like you're not worthy of what you wanted to do. And having this 7 of Swords, it's like these mental feelings right here, like things were taken from you, things were done to you, you were deceived, and it's like you're having a hard time letting that go, you're having a hard time healing from it, and it really struck a chord with you. It was probably someone who was very close to you, especially with this emotion attached to it, that just really brought a lot of havoc to how you feel about yourself. And it made you lose faith in a whole lot of things. And it's like a constant mental battle you have, especially with this 10 of Pentacles over here. This reversal right here is just like anything that was stable with whatever this was came crashing down. It's almost giving me the energy of like having a Tower card here because of going through this pain, and then it's like this abrupt ending to something that was supposed to be stable. But what they're trying to let you know is that staying in this energy and focusing on it is what's hindering you from releasing, when in reality you need to take baby steps, because this is the Knight of Pentacles, this slow moving energy. Take baby steps and start it this week. of starting to move forward and gain back your confidence by slowly having faith. Even if it's not in yourself, if you need to have faith in external sources before you can have faith in yourself, like, just start it and start realizing that these abilities that you don't trust, they're always going to be there for you once you start opening yourself up. So don't feel like you're on a time limit either, because when you put yourself on a time limit, it closes off even more because you feel like you're failing because you're missing the time limit. This learning and this growth and this healing is not on a timeline, especially with how Chiron's in Aries with everything going on. It's like this abrupt thing that can bring up so much hurt and emotions, especially if it keeps cycling back. You need to be able to be in your energy of knowing that you're secure and you're moving forward no matter how slow it is, but you're moving forward instead of stepping back. Because it's like with this, he's looking back at all of this stuff and realizing it for what it is, and that he has to do the work. But at the same time, he has the protection here in knowing that, I might have gone through this, but I can choose at any time to start moving away from this. And that's what you got to start stepping into. And let's see what planets or aspects or energies. In this cosmos, we're gonna, oh man, Taurus is coming out heavy for everything right now. That Uranus energy is just, but this could also, it just came to me for this pile, since this is a lot of work. Don't be surprised if this doesn't, like, this isn't going to be like a week thing. This could, these baby steps process could last up to the full moon in Taurus, which isn't until the 31st of October. And it could make it to where you have a major breakthrough on that full moon. Since it's exalted in Taurus, it could actually bring a blessing of you finally having the breakthrough and stepping into having this heart and solar plexus healing and having the freedom of release. So take the baby steps as they come. Yeah, because this week it's really about trying to open up this energy, and it's going to be a lot of hard work because it's you. It's like internally you need to do this work. You need to focus on yourself, and you need to have determination, and you need to have the affirmation that I will do this, I am doing this. And just know that even if it's slow, it's still movement. So don't be hard on yourself with that. And we have first house, the body. Now, one of the things I'm feeling with this is, especially with all the golden, it's linking to the solar plexus. Other people's perceptions of you and how much you weigh your worth on their perceptions is something that you really need to work on, and pull the energy of being grounded and knowing that what you feel about yourself is enough and you don't need other people's opinions. By going internal and really doing the work on this stuff, you bring yourself a closer connection to not only your intuition, but your own freedom to express who you are, as opposed to who people are projecting onto you to be. And then for some of you, if you're going through this, that's really harsh. Like, I've been through 2 this year. But Saturn return we have here, but it's also a huge growing aspect as well. Because with Saturn return, we are given this buttload of lessons to see if we are on the right track, or it's going to push us on the right track, is pretty much what happens. And the Saturn return usually happens for people between ages 27 and 30 for the first Saturn return. Now, going through this, it can feel like it ages you because you gain a lot of wisdom in a short period of time and you go through a lot of drastic stuff. It's like the Tower card on steroids. But it just brings so much freedom in with this kind of energy coming in. If it's ripping stuff away you don't need, allow it to be pulled away because it's going to bring in some major heart healing for you guys. So if you're feeling like you're going through a huge tower moment, which I mentioned, that feels like a tower moment to me too. If you feel like things are just being ripped away and you don't understand why, it's because this energy is coming in trying to help you cleanse all this out so you have the freedom to be who you actually are and express your heart's truth as opposed to what people are projecting onto you. So let's get your little affirmations. So first one we have is energy. I work with my dreams and my spirit's energy to reach my highest good. So definitely I feel like with how much dreams are coming out for you guys, don't ignore them because they're really going to help you with this process. There's probably a lot of small hints or even probably full-blown like this is what you need to do conversations going on, but definitely don't ignore them. And if it's hard for you to remember, just do little bits at a time, like start like a little journal or a notepad, or even have a thing where you can quickly write something on your phone. Just anything you can remember, whether it's a conversation, a color, numbers, just anything to start getting you in that realm of trying to remember more and more, and it becomes easier. It's like anything. It's like a muscle that you need to work. Just like your intuition. And then we have growth. I challenge myself to step outside of my comfort zone as I travel on the road to growth and illumination. It's exactly what you guys are being called to do right now. You're being called to step up and go through this transformation so you can actually speak your truth and put it out, which is going to be very outside of your comfort zone if you've been feeling so bogged down by this. So definitely, and plus it bringing illumination is bringing a lot of epiphanies. It can be messages from your guides, even your soul truth coming out as well. So let's read for citrine. It is the essential stone of the sacral chakra, making it a staple for creativity and manifestation. Allows one to awaken their abilities and creative imagination. It is sorry, my thing popped up. Okay, there we go. It's warm and comforting. It energizes and is life-giving. It stimulates chakras like sunlight, and it clears the mind, stirring the soul to action. It sustains the process of transforming dreams and wishes into tangible form. And with the pure yellow energy, it encourages the fullness of life, fresh beginnings, and new pursuits. And it transmutes, dissipates, and grounds any negative energy, making it very protective for any environment. And really helps with negative thoughts and feelings. I keep getting told. Well, I'm guessing you picked citrine then. So, let's go ahead and switch to my Jersey Agate Owl pile. He's ready to impart some knowledge. So let's see what's the moon energies coming through for my little owl pile. So you guys need to do some sacral chakra healing too. Oh, this one just flipped. Wow, okay then. Okay. Well then. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. First I want to talk about this community card over here. Immediately when I saw this reversed, I was thinking of someone being in hermit mode, and the number for this card is 7, which is in tarot the number of the hermit. So the energy this week, I feel like you really need to dive into your hermit energy, where it's very introspective. It's very not necessarily blocking yourself off from community, but it's like you can still talk to people. It's probably good to talk to people. You won't be completely closed off, but it's really stepping into the energy where you're getting to know yourself instead of feeling like you're binded, because this is reminding me of the Eight of Swords, where the woman has the blindfold and she feels like she's really stuck, but it's more mental. And it's really making this feeling of, if you can take time and really reflect with this energy, what's going to happen is you're going to slowly be able to pull away the chains that are binding you and finally take off the blindfold and realize you've been doing this energy to yourself, which is what's blocking off your sacral chakra, because what you keep spinning around and around and around is what is keeping this blocked off. It's keeping your confidence from coming to the forefront. Hello, Art. I don't think I've seen you before. But then we have either shadow work or specific areas. For my Druzy Owl. There's so much gold in this reading. It's like the solar plexus is like really friggin' strong in this reading. Yeah, this confidence needs to come through, because this card right here, the Say What You Mean, is really speaking of not fearing what others have to say or think. It's like there's so much here with not backing down and taking the time for yourself to learn what is you and what you really want, and what is this, because this is going together here with this blue. It's almost like what you're saying are these built up records that have been playing over and over in your mind, when in reality releasing them, and it really is a big temptation just to keep going back and replaying it, because it's almost like a comfort when you've become so used to that mentality to go back to it. Even though it hurts, it's like you know it, so it's safer to go to something you know, which stops you from being honest, because this blue is throat chakra energy, and it's like having that blocked off. You're not going to say honestly what is in your heart, especially if you're not feeling the confidence to do so. And with this right here being reversed, it's almost like not feeling that. It's like you don't want to look at these sides of yourself because you don't see them as good parts of you. But the only way to work through this is to actually go in and accept every part of you, even if you don't feel it's beautiful. All of us have parts of us that we need to work on. And when you accept that and acknowledge it, and you start doing the work towards opening up and being honest and saying what is true to your heart, that's when you can start coming into your own and really opening up your confidence and going after what you really want, as opposed to feeling like you need to hide certain aspects of yourself because it isn't what other people want to see or want to talk about. You're never going to get to where you really want to go if you're always worried about what other people are thinking, which I think is why this energy of the Hermit came through to me, in being able to be with yourself and be alone, as opposed to needing the community to tell you what you need to do, because you need to come into the place where you pull yourself out of the temptation to keep biting your tongue. You need to really step into the energy of saying what's really in your heart. And it's going to be hard work, and it's going to take a lot of determination, because it's not going to feel easy at all to step into this energy. And you might feel like you lose some people, but those people weren't in your corner, and you need to know that by clearing out the people that aren't in your corner, you're making room for the people that will accept you wholeheartedly for everything you have to say. And let's see some obstacles or blessings that are coming through for my Druzy Agate Owl pile. See, that's really beautiful. Like, they want to bless you with your wishes coming true. They want you to have the strength to know that you can make all these things happen, and that your uniqueness is so important. So dimming it is only hurting you. It's not, showing your light isn't going to hurt anybody. Being yourself doesn't hurt people. Yeah, with this Seven of Wands, it's like feeling like you don't have control in the situation. It's like giving away your power to other people when you should be standing in this Ace of Swords and speaking your truth. You should be bringing about this information you know, instead of throwing away everything like it wasn't worth it. Because it's like starting something and deciding it's not worth it. Either it can be both good and bad. If you realize it wasn't your heart that made you do that and you stop it, it doesn't matter what other people think, because you shouldn't be forced into doing things that aren't true to you. Life happens and we have to do some things sometimes to survive, but once we can get to a place where we can really pursue what we want, there shouldn't be the voice of others telling you what you're worthy of doing. Yeah, it's like saying, like, just release these burdens of feeling this feeling. They want it released. It's like, work on releasing this, because it's almost, they want to bring in what you want. They want you to step into your truth, and they want you to release all these burdens that you felt you've had to always carry, whether it was not really being able to trust other people or open up or be confident in yourself. They want you to really go inwards and realize that all of these things, all of this time that you're feeling like you have no control over situations and things are just so up in the air and plans fall apart, just look back at them and realize some of those things needed to move out of the way so I could get to where I am now. And what's interesting with this Ace of Swords here, if you look at the picture, he's not, or this hand, this would be your guides, it's not being held by the hilt. It's literally holding the blade, and the blade isn't hurting. So don't be afraid of your truth. Like, your truth isn't going to harm people. It might upset them, but the people that are meant to be around you will respect it. And this is you putting up boundaries as well. You being able to speak this, because without speaking it, you're hurting yourself, because you're fully protected in speaking it. So this week, take the steps towards starting to let your truth out, because they want to reward you so much right now. And then let's see what planets, aspects, or energies are most prominent for my owls this week. Ooh, you guys are the first ones that got the Mars, Aries energy. It's gonna be rough. Yeah, I'm saying yeah and hitting my frickin' elbow. Oh my gosh, even Mercury retrograde's coming out for you. You guys are going to be feeling these energies so heavy this week already. You guys are probably very in tune to energy, which is probably why you haven't spoken up, because you can feel other people around you. But you really need to own up to who you are. It's the only way you're going to get that feeling of valuing yourself over others' opinions. But with this Aries here, and it being in reverse, it's automatically what popped in my head is the Mars retrograde in Aries right now. This energy is really standing on you guys heavy right now, which is probably why it's hard for you to actually speak your truth, because what's going on around you is probably pretty chaotic. Because people who aren't working on transmuting their emotions into positive outlets are just going to lash. They're going to let them fly out. It's going to come out in accusations. It's going to come out in irritability. It's going to be kind of toxic depending on just how bad the person is. And then with having the first house here with the body, and it's in reverse, and it, once again, this gold just tying in, like this gold ran all the way up this side. Like holding your truth from yourself because you're afraid of what these other people are going to say or do is really at detriment to your own health. Because with the body coming up here, it's really making me feel health-wise, whether it's mental, emotional, even like physically. You're accumulating health conditions because you're allowing this energy to override you. Whereas what needs to happen in this energy, there needs to be a lot of grounding in this energy. Like this deep red is like the root chakra red. There needs to be a lot of grounding in this energy, or it just goes crazy. It goes haywire. And then it just seeps on to everybody else. And then we also have Mercury retrograde here, which we're in the shadow period of that now, because Mercury goes retrograde not this week or next week, but the following week. So we're actually in the shadow period of that. And it's saying reinvention, but it's like a stuck thing. Like, you know you need to come out and do these things, but it's almost like this stuck feeling. But by doing this, by going through and starting this and owning right here with the second house, because the second house also symbolizes what we find value in, whether it's external or internal. It's the house of owning that. And with all this green in the heart chakra here, it's almost like reinventing yourself so you're true to this and gaining your confidence back. And it would probably be very beneficial for you to work on grounding exercises as well. So that way people aren't just shoving all their crap on you and you're taking it and making yourself feel like with these energies that it's your fault by playing that mental record over and over again. You need to realize that these people have their own issues and it's not your problem. You need to release this Ten of Wands over here and realize it's their shit. Like, period. Like, what's going on with you is you are blocking off your light because you feel like it will hurt them, and it's not going to. The only thing it'll do is it'll make people either respect your boundaries, or it's going to make the people that don't respect you go away. And then the people that do respect you will show up in your life. You will bring in the community that's meant for you. You will become reborn, and you will do the things that are needed so you can fall into this energy over here with the star of the wish fulfillment and knowing that everything's going to be okay and timing is working for you. And this energy here, I don't see anything of slow movement. So especially with this Aries here, like, you might feel repressed because of the retrogrades, but I think this week is going to have a lot of fast moving energy, and it's going to have this feeling of you're having to bounce along with the energy, and that's why grounding is going to be so important for you guys. Otherwise you're going to get swept up in it. So let's see what your affirmations are. Oh, two of them came out at once. So we have divine dream. I am divinely guided. My intuition shows me the way through my dreaming world. And then we have purpose. My dreams connect me to my purpose. So if you guys are feeling lost in what you're supposed to be doing and your confidence is being just drained away with it, like, you guys really need to, like, especially with the star here and the Ace of Swords, it's like this energy of knowing that once you start opening up and allowing your intuition to take the reins and allowing yourself to realize that your dreams can be reality and not holding this in, and let yourself actually come out and be who you really are, things will fall into place. And if you get dreams where people are replaying things that happened to you during the day, that means it deeply affected you. It means give it attention. Don't try to brush it off. Like, if you have an argument with someone and then you dream about it, that is something that you need to heal so you can learn to speak your truth, as opposed to allowing people to bulldoze over you. And then also, if you have dreams of stuff that makes you extremely happy, realize that that's what you need to be going towards, as opposed to anything that's making you feel like you can't achieve what you really want to do. So for the Druzy Agate Owl, let's see what we got. So it is believed to be associated with peace, tranquility, patience, intuition, and unconditional love. It amplifies the body's natural healing properties and strengthens the spirit. Also provides the balance necessary to avoid depression or unnatural feelings of fear or dread. It It is good for composure and maturity. It's protective and it helps protect against excessive negativity. It has a soothing energy of harmony and peace. And it can bring calm to you if you do wear agate on you. I actually have this right here, the white one is called chocolate agate, but it's like white chocolate agate, but it's white agate with the dark bands in it. But it helps if you're prone to excessive worry or you need something to help with strength or promoting your well-being. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that okay, and then it enhances mental function, improves concentration, perception, and analytical abilities. And it helps soothe inner anger, which I knew there was something else. It's like it helps soothe the anger, so that's really good for this right here with the security and safety. I knew there was something else with it, but so that is my Druzy Agate Owl pile. I'm going to move on to my last one, which is the Lapis Lazuli pile. And if any of these make you want a reading, whether it's tarot or astrology, like I have all that on my Facebook, and you can book with me there and everything, like just in case you're worried about, because everything's going to be changing within the next few weeks. Every planet's doing something different, so if you just want to look into that, or if you want to get a reading on a specific area of your life you think is getting affected by it, then definitely you can book with me there, because this is going to be something for all of us. So let's go ahead with my Lapis Lazuli pile and see what energies what energies are going to be most prominent this week. The thinking man. Oh. Oh wow. Okay. We got the door to personal healing and happiness. And action. Okay. So, for one, I'm going to take a sip of water. What's the thinking man here? He's even staring at a crystal, by the way. This guy's staring at a clear quartz crystal. I don't know if that is something you guys might want to get. It's really good for cleansing and also amplifying other crystals around it as well. But with him staring at this crystal, what immediately is coming to mind is thinking about all of these different things that are being created, these foundations that are trying to be born, this love internally that needs to be worked on, and it's something that needs to have a lot of motivation. It's like this constant swirl of thinking of all these things. The feathers in his hat are purple, and this is really speaking of letting go of the logic as much and letting the intuition flow in. Because when you're too logical, because being logical isn't a bad thing, because a lot of times we need to sift through different things that happen. But when you think too much, you actually fill up all of the channels you have for your intuition or your guides or messages to come through. And what's trying to come through energy-wise this week is the door to personal healing and happiness. And this is this is tied to this foundation-wise. Like, this is something that's really being thought about, like, a lot. Which, in a way, what's interesting is I feel like he's looking into this crystal and imagining this. Because it's almost like seeing the rainbows and the reflection of everything that can be in this. And the thing is, this is inside you. This isn't an external thing. This is a foundation that you build inside you through letting out that inner child that's been blocked off and allowing yourself to move forward and having the determination while also having that introspection of knowing what you're moving towards is so important, because you're integrating both your dark and your light. You're learning to work your shadow into what needs to take place to get here, and being able to sit here and think on these things while also still allowing the intuition to come through is so important. And then let's see where any shadow work or healing needs to take place. Well, that's very interesting. And then it ends with that. So, first thing out we have here is self-sabotage, and it comes directly from denying your intuition. Like, this is literally you're blocking off what's trying to come through, and it could be because you're thinking about it too much, and it's literally causing this internal war almost with yourself. And you have to realize that yes, introspection is good, but you can't do it to the extent where you shut down, because once you do that, what happens is you close off the part of yourself that really wants to move forward and do things. It's like it makes you want to go into this rest you never want to come out of, because you feel like you've exhausted any energy you had to put into this effort. And one of the main things, and this is tied with the intuition being closed off, that needs to be worked on is family. There is so much ties here with family, that whether it's blood family or it's family that you have acquired throughout your life that you feel soul linked to, some things are karmic and some things are meant to teach us lessons. We're not meant to carry every single relationship we come into contact with through our entire life. Some do stay with us for a very long time, but eventually all relationships we have with other people do end in some form or another, or they start later and they go the rest of our lives, but they're not there from birth all the way to our end. And we need to realize that by trusting ourselves instead of sabotaging ourselves, if there's anything that's holding us back with any of these links we have to people, that we can release them. And we need to keep the faith here, because these are both twos. And then we have a 22. So in order to combat the self-sabotage and the memories and the links that we have with others, we need to continue to have faith so that we can build the foundation we need in order to reach this healing and happiness right here. Because you can't take action if you're frozen in fear. And let's see what obstacles and opportunities or blessings that are coming through this week for the lapis lazuli. Oh, we got a couple. Okay. Very interesting here that we have this King of Swords coming out in reverse. After talking about these overthinking and these karmic links. And that one just decided to pop. So, with this King of Swords here, since this is coming out with self-sabotage, it's really giving me this feeling, especially with this connected right here, it's giving me the feeling that you're really creating a mental prison for yourself and you're becoming your own worst enemy by how you're treating yourself. Especially with, because if you remember with the Ace of Swords, that golden hand was holding the hilt here, and there was no worry of there being pain, but he isn't holding the hilt, he's holding it by the handles here. So it's like he's not even holding it properly. So it's like the way you are communicating with yourself and these chains you're putting on yourself are keeping you from, like, because this thinking isn't turning positive when it's in this. You can't have a positive outcome. You can only sabotage yourself and shut off your intuition completely when you put yourself in this position. But if you're sitting here thinking about how to overcome these barriers that have blocked you from your dreams, what happens is you get these new creative ideas and you get this new inspiration for wanting to go forward and achieve new things. And it's like a fresh start happens. So it's being able to walk out of this energy and into this energy of understanding that there's opportunity as opposed to feeling like you're trapped. And this is mental. This isn't your external reality. This is like something that you play like in your mind so much that you believe it's true. But you can step out of it by combining here this thinking and knowing that you have this healing ahead of you and this prosperity, by looking forward to it and knowing that by doing this healing, this is what's waiting. But what might tie you up a little bit and make you feel kind of frustrated is having to heal this family issue. Because it's like you can work on your stuff, but something might stop you at times from being able to fully work on family things, whether or the karmic links with other people. It might stop you because maybe sometimes you feel like you need to communicate with them, or you need some kind of movement to happen, or messages, anything like that. If you feel like you're not getting responses, it can become agitating because you're trying to get closure. One thing that's really important to learn is sometimes we're not going to get closure, and we have to learn ourselves how to find our own happiness and healing without relying on others to give it to us. And that's a very hard lesson to learn, because being able to walk away from a link you have with someone and know that you're never going to get the closure from them saying that they're sorry or you know, whichever way it plays out, or them even saying you guys aren't like friends or even a relationship anymore, if like they just disappeared. Knowing that you can heal this instead of being in this energy and feeling like you're stuck and you're just so upset with the fact that you're not getting this answer. It's blocking you from really walking through this door when you can take control and make the foundation and know, hey, you know, I forgive myself for whatever part I had in this, and whatever part they had in it, I'm going to heal it myself and then release it, because you can't carry their karma on you. It's their karma. Let them have it. It's not your problem to deal with. And then having this Seven of Cups reversed here, it's like finally being able, it's like this Page of Wands, you're seeing the opportunity as opposed to feeling like you are stuck and confused by, it seems like there's so many options, but they all fell away. But here it's like you can see through the veil, you can see through the confusion, and you can finally understand what's going on. And this is right on the Have Faith card. So by tapping into this and truly trusting it instead of this self-sabotage that's happening with this mental feeling, if you can learn to just kind of pull yourself out of it and step into this energy over here with the having the faith, that knowing that things are going to work out and that things are going to come as they need to, you're going to be able to see things differently. And let me go ahead and pull what planets or aspects or even different astrological energies that are going to be most prominent for you this week. So we have Venus with love, first house, the body, which I didn't see a lot of blockage cards in here. This was more on the mental side of things. But it does seem like you're into it, so it's probably like more of a third eye issue, because we have the moon reversed here in the intuition and the soul, so it's like that sabotage is literally you blocking off your intuition. And then we have solar eclipse here with revolution. So looking at these, Venus right now, if I'm remembering correctly, is still in Leo. So Leo is a very generous sign. It's very heart oriented. It's ruled by the sun. It's about having that magnetic energy and just being like that bright light. But at the same time, it's also not falling into the ego as well, like that bad side of the ego, where it needs all the attention and all of the praise constantly. And with Venus here, it's almost like knowing how to build these foundations in the love you have for yourself, so the relationship with yourself, as well as building the foundation with those around you that understand this, because some actually might be pushing you more towards understanding this about yourself, but you're so stuck in this energy. And what will help you is being more in the energy of loving yourself and understanding that, yes, this is a part of me, but the only way I'm going to be able to open up this channel where I'm more available to myself is by loving these aspects of myself and releasing the fear that comes with them. Because having the first house here, it's showing that with moving out of this mental place here and into this creative place, what's going to happen is your solar plexus energy starts flourishing, and it starts bringing up all of this energy that allows you more freedom, it allows you more healing, and it allows you to keep walking through this door as opposed to feeling like you're stopped. And it opens up your intuition as well. And with this moon being in reverse and the Aries moon, full moon, happening on the 1st, it could be that during this time, especially with the solar eclipse with this red energy over here, it could be that this time is a very emotional week for you. And that's why it's kind of warning against getting too stuck in your head with what's going on, and allow yourself to have love instead of fear overtake everything with how you speak to yourself. Because with this right here, it's almost like you're trying to shut down this intuition that's coming in, or maybe even certain abilities that are coming in because it's too much for you. And this solar eclipse is like a revolution. It's wanting to just help you break down and start this new way of doing things, your own unique way of doing things. And it's going to be really hard work, but it's going to help open up this channel that you've been blocking off to yourself through this energy, which you need to heal with love. So let's see what your affirmations are. My lapis lazuli pile. It's too many. Oh. Ask for help. I am willing to receive help from the universe whenever and however it happens. They're really, like, with this have faith and having this come out, like, they're really trying to tell you, like, don't feel like you gotta, in this energy of just you thinking, don't feel like you have to do everything yourself. Like, if you feel very, like, you need someone to talk to, don't be afraid to talk to someone. Like, especially if it's really hard and it's mentally draining and you just need someone to give you a perspective. If you trust them and you know that what they say is going to be in your best interest, then go to someone, or go to someone who's not involved in this situation that can probably give you an outside perspective. And we have love again. My heart is open to love as it manifests into the world. So there's a lot of love that needs to come here for the healing. But it isn't a weakness ever to ask for help. It's actually a big strength to be vulnerable. So showing your vulnerability and loving yourself enough to ask for help instead of just allowing yourself to struggle through everything really is opening your heart and allowing love in, as well as giving it at the same time. So let's see what the meaning. So it brings harmony and deep inner self-knowledge, encourages self-awareness, allows self-expression, and reveals inner truth, providing qualities of honesty, compassion, and morality to the personality. It stimulates objectivity, clarity, and encourages creativity. And it's known for opening the third eye chakra. What was I just talking about? Enhancing your ability to turn inward and uncover your truth. It can support anyone who's ready to step into their power and their authentic self. And Let me see, there's one other thing I know it's bugging me. I want to. Okay, it reminds you of your own self-worth. It helps with confidence. And for bonding relationships and forging close-knit friendships with those who can serve the true you. And it cuts down on pent-up frustration and anger. It makes us more decisive in picking paths that are right for us. So that is my lapis lazulis. And I know, Jen, you're going to go and watch your personal one at the beginning and probably be like, okay. I can't really remember what yours said, since it was one of the first ones. But I think it had some of this stuff in it. But yeah, if no one else wants a personal weekly forecast, I'm gonna go ahead and head off for today. And like I said, if you guys need any personal stuff, like my about section on here has the links to everything. And plus with these, if you ever need to watch them back, because they don't always stay up on Twitch, I put the recorded, what they're called as VODs, on my my YouTube. So it gets sent straight to my YouTube if you ever need to watch things again and it's not on here. But yeah, all my links are down there, my Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and head off for now, and good luck everyone with this week. I'm going to be back tomorrow where we can do our group collective reading, whatever you guys choose you want to do a collective reading on. If things are already starting to freak you out, we can do a group collective reading on what the hell is going on. But, okay, Anne. I'll see you soon. You too. So, yeah, we can do all that tomorrow. But I'll see you guys later and have a great day. And good luck starting all this stuff next week. Bye.